Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, there's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Returning it, John Ross. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Oh, yeah, nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Now this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. And plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Well, these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11. And it was the visiting Bengals who came away with the victory in that one. So they'll look to take the season series now here at home in Cincinnati. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Still 9 remaining on second down. And now they will throw it with Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Now Burrow on first down. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now a first and 10 at the 11.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Burrow on third down. Dancing to his left toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. McPherson's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Play action. It's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, first and 15. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now on second and 13, Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a first and 10 at the 36. taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Here's a give to Dobbins. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
3rd and goal from the 2, and they're going with a jumbo set offensively. They'll run with Gillisley, and he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Let's give credit to the defense. They got plenty of bodies to the point of attack and stop the run. But I just wonder if the offensive line let down a little bit, knowing that the big guy was getting the ball, and they just expected him to pick up a first.
Tucker's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And some room to run now. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Meanwhile, Burrow's thrown into the hands of Sample. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He'll drop this one down to mix it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Here we go.
Second down and goal. Burrow. And he slings one that's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Here's Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Jackson to throw. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Open man is Uzomah. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. McPherson's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. And some room to work. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's late. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Ravens have got it. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Well, the fake punt gets only a yard, but that's enough to pick up the first. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy even in protection. He may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Now Jackson on first down. Open man is Duvernay. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Second and 11 now. Now it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. First down and more for Jackson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Jackson. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This goes out wide from Mixon. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now Dobbins again on second down. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. it's Jackson. And he'll just get rid of it.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. 31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Burrow on play action. Flush to his right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 22. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's up and good to extend the lead to 13-6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengals drive about to get going. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick 6 hurt, no doubt, but this is still a 1-score game here in the 4th. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on it. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
7 yards to pick up there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him out to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass to Mixon on the check down. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Flushed out right. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll give it to Mixon. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd down, it's right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 28-yard line.
Real quick.
Throwing is Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. A tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Now Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And the Bengals are going to get out of here with a W. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Bengals, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL.